Hi, my name is Borys, and in this video I'm going to show you how to write deep house chord progressions in Ableton Live 12. We will be writing 3 chord progressions in the style of labels like Selected and artists like New Aspect. Before we get into the video, if you like what we are doing on this channel, make sure to subscribe. We've got more content about Ableton coming up. If you'd like to learn Live 12 with all the foundations of music production, check out our Beginner to Advanced Live 12 Start to Finish course. And all of today's chord progressions are part of project files which are included in our Deep House sound pack called Reflections, so make sure to check it out. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, so let's listen to the first fragment for today. Alright, so as you can hear, it's quite a detailed track, especially with all these vocal layers, but we are going to be focusing on the chords. First of all, let's listen to the piano, which starts this fragment. The chord progression pretty much repeats over and over. Let's just solo this. And I'm going to write this progression from scratch. It's quite simple, so let's get started. First of all, we need to select the B major scale, because we're going to be working in that one. You can enable the scale mode. Also, in the clip view, you can click scale, so we're just limited to the B major scale. And what we're going to be writing is a simple progression starting from the E chord, maybe E1 even. So this just goes for 1 bar, then we go to G sharp, then we go to B, so the tonic, and then we go down to the F. We can actually take these chords, duplicate them an octave higher. I'm just holding Control and dragging them up, and we can actually add some intervals here. If you choose +2 in Ableton Live 12, you can add some intervals, and here is what we have. Let's listen. There's one very important inversion here. We are taking the upper notes and putting these down an octave. So if we select these notes, you can just hold Shift and press the down arrow and they jump an octave down. And also we can make these 2 chords shorter and then just extend these 2 to the left. And this just gives us a better groove. So now the chords don't all start on 1, we are offsetting these 2 chords to the left a bit. So that's the progression, and it also repeats in some other layers. As you can see, it's just shorter here, and then in the last section it's going to be visible in the bass notes. Only that this B note is moved an octave down, and that's pretty much it as for this chord progression. So this one is quite easy. It's using a major, a scale, which gives you a bit more of an uplifting, happier vibe. Okay, let's take a look at the second track for today. This one is called Sky. Let's just give it a listen. Okay, so this one is also pretty simple. This part is mostly based on two tracks. We have the bass and we have this pluck, which forms the harmony. And on top we have this melody line. There are also some Atmos, but that's very in the background. But in the second section here, we have some pads, and these are playing the chords underneath. So we're going to be focusing especially on this low pad. And I'm just going to write this chord progression from scratch. So for this chord progression, we need to be in the G sharp minor scale. So make sure to select that one. Just go into the scale mode. Let's fold the piano roll to the scale. And let's first of all focus on the bass notes. We're going to be starting from E and also extending this over the first bar. Next note is going to be F sharp, so just the next note in the scale. Then G sharp, and then we jump to B. And the very last chord here is going to be the F sharp once again. We can take these notes and add intervals. So we have triads now, let's listen. And what we're going to be doing is just repeating these bass notes an octave higher. And we can actually do +7 here with the scale degrees. And this way we're just adding these octaves. So let's listen now. And last thing, we're going to be taking the third here, so the G sharp in the first chord, and putting that up an octave. So let's listen. And this is the exact same chord progression as in the track, and we're repeating it in some of the other MIDI clips. So we are playing this same chord progression on the high pad and on the chords. And the same chords are obviously played by the bass, only syncopated, and also we're playing notes according to these chords with the pluck. So that would be the harmony of this second track called Sky. And let's take a look at the last one called Control. So the chord progression is first of all played by the piano. Let's just solo that one. And we're going to be recreating this one on the piano. And this one is in the G minor scale. So let's just choose G minor, enable scale mode, fold to the scale. And we're going to be writing root notes first. Let's start from G2, extending this note over 1.5 bar. And until the third one, we're going to be playing F, so one step down. Then we're going to B flat, playing that over 2 bars, going to E flat, playing that over 1.5 bar, going back to B flat, and then the last chord is just going to be G. As always, we can add triads, so selecting all notes, +2 scale degrees and adding intervals. Let's listen. And this chord progression actually uses a lot of fancy inversions. We're going to be getting started by just lowering the bass notes, or actually duplicating the bass notes down by an octave. So let's just select all of the bass notes. We can go to -7 scale degrees and we have them duplicated. Or actually, we can also go 2 octaves down. And this just gives it a deeper vibe. For the first chord, we can take this upper fifth and move it down an octave just with shift and down arrow. For the next one, we're going to be taking the F, putting that up an octave, and then we're going to be also duplicating the A down here. We can add a 6 to the third chord, so just making it a bit more elaborate sounding. And then delete the fifth. Let's take the 6 down by an octave. Then we're also going to be repeating this D down here. And let's start the second half of the progression. Let's also add the 6th. Let's put it an octave down, remove the third, and also duplicate this E flat up by an octave. I'm just adding +7 scale degrees to do that more easily. And it's just more elaborate sounding this way. We can delete this fifth and the B flat chord, and we can duplicate this D down by an octave. And we can repeat the shape from the beginning right here, so just moving the fifth down an octave. Let's listen to this entire progression now. Okay, so we have the G minor chord, the F chord, the B flat chord with the added 6. We have the E flat chord with the added 6. We have the B flat chord, and we have the G minor chord once again. And this progression is repeated on some of the pads here as well, in the simpler voicing. And on top of this we have the melody. Alright, I hope you will find this video useful. Make sure to check out our Music Production Academy with start to finish courses on making tracks in various genres. And if you'd like to learn Live 12 with all the foundations of music production, check out the Beginner to Advanced Live 12 Start to Finish course. All of today's chord progressions are part of project files included in the Reflections pack, so make sure to check it out. All links you'll find in the video description. Make sure to subscribe to our channel. If you enjoyed this video, leave us a like, write a comment, and I'll see you in the next ones.